Hello, Bradley. Are you podding it up? You got your pods in?
I hate to disappoint. I actually have headphones connected with Oh wait, technically I am podding it up because these are called ear pods. So I am podding it up. Yeah.
Okay, good. You're podding it up. Good.
Yeah.
Me too. We're both podding it up. What are you listening to? Because I know today, like, usually we like talk to each other and that's enough. But like, I don't know. I've been getting bored with that, so I figured I'd listen to some music today. I've got personally a Joe Iconis album on. What are you?
Are you actually listening to music?
I am listening to the Joe Iconis Rock and Roll Jamboree on my phone right now.
Oh.
That's why I have my pods in. What are you up to?
That's sick as hell. I'm not listening to anything. I'm listening to your voice. Pick a soundtrack. Actually. Okay, a soundtrack. Currently.
Right, what are you going to listen to? Yeah.
My soundtrack is, let's see. I Won't Hurt You by West Coast pop artist. The name gets cut off, but it's a good band from the 1960s.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the Kinks also.
Okay, that's awesome. At the same time? One in each ear or both in both ears?
No, kind of like on two different devices, but out loud.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's cool that you have like such a nice mic setup that's just not even registering.
Yeah, I know. It's great. I've got it in its own tiny soundproof booth, so nothing can get in.
Okay.
I'm also in there.
We are in separate locations right now, which is why I needed to ask you about your pod situation.
Uh-huh.
So now that I know we're both podding it up, let's just I mean, usually like we talk, but like let's just chill.
Okay, I'm super cool with that. Like we don't even have to like say anything or shit. Like we can just
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, this is boring. Let's talk.
Oh, okay, fine.
I don't have anything to do. I'm sitting alone in an apartment in Paris.
Well, you are listening to two different sort of audio experiences plus me plus me humming mine on the other end.
It's three. So. It's too many audio. I'm turning off the Kinks.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
You're gonna leave the other one on then?
Yeah, I do like that. It's just one song, so it'll be over pretty soon. But other than that, I mean, it's good. Yeah.
Okay, well, potting it up is a good idea.
Heck yeah.
Good idea is a brain trust your brain can trust. It is a comedy podcast where we find creative, actionable solutions to your real-life problems. I'm Aiden Kinsella.
And I'm Bradley Berklich.
And this is Good Idea. Hello, Bradley.
Hello, Aiden.
How's Europe?
Europe's great. For those of you who don't know, which should be all of you who I probably don't know in real life. I'm in Europe right now. I'm in France. I saw the Eiffel Tower today. I went to the top of the Eiffel Tower today. I came back down from the Eiffel Tower today. I was
disappointed to hear that you hadn't pierced your entire body on the top of the Eiffel Tower like someone who maybe fell out of a helicopter in an action movie.
That sounds sick as hell. I did drop my water bottle.
Okay.
That was unintentional, and I got yelled at very badly in French.
I mean, I'm sure. Did it hit somebody?
No, it was like a just to the ground, like to the platform I was standing on.
Oh, okay. Again, really disappointing.
She was very rude. It was a tourist. It was not security.
I'm in kind of an action movie mood. I did just watch Mission Impossible, which in the first 2 minutes, Tom Cruise does fall out of a helicopter and just sort of get impaled on the top of the Eiffel Tower, and that's just the rest of the movie.
I did see that thing today. That glass palace in France. I was there. The Grand Palace. Yeah, they were hosting I don't think they were hosting a fashion show, but I know that's where they host fashion shows. It was cool. It's big. It's made of glass. It was very kind of surreal. I didn't even connect that to...
Was it palace-like?
It was extremely palace-like. I didn't even connect it to like Mission Impossible because I frankly thought that movie was unmemorable. But anyway, I didn't think it was great. Mission Impossible Fall was okay. I was just kind of asleep, honestly. It was okay. It was not bad. It wasn't bad. It was okay. I mean, it was okay. Yeah, you know.
It was okay?
It was okay. Yeah, pretty much.
I wouldn't go watch it again.
Yeah.
I don't need to see. I honestly, when I was watching that film, I thought that like I could not tell if it was making fun of itself about 100% of the time.
I think it's because it's like the 19th Mission Impossible movie and they're just running out of like tropes because they're making them.
Well, they're making the same tropes over and over again, but the thing is, like, every movie that makes fun of Mission Impossible is making fun of Mission Impossible. Like, that movie kind of defined the Mission Impossible movie genre.
Yes.
Mission Impossible did. But like just watching it and having never seen a Mission Impossible movie before, like Fallout was my first. You know, you always remember your first Mission Impossible Fallout. I went in to see that, and just from having seen so many satires on Mission Impossible, it just seemed like the whole movie was a joke.
Yeah, it fell a little flat. But yeah, whatever. We're not here to criticize movies. We're here to talk about...
That's what I'm here for, so...
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking we just changed the whole podcast.
No, that's fair. I don't know. It's just kind of one of those days. You mix it up a little.
Mix it up a little.
I have been offered alcohol a total of 4 times today.
Did you accept?
Never.
Any of those times?
I do not drink. It is in my core principle.
You would never drink alcohol?
I would never drink an alcohol.
But what about the time on Good Idea when you told us about the time you had a black and white?
That was a lie and a joke.
Sure.
Yes.
Just like I'm not a cop.
Yeah, we'll get back to that one. But it's, I don't know. Europe you can drink, which is cool.
Hey, Bradley.
Yeah?
Can you pick a prompt?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Songs that shouldn't be included in choir.
There is slash in between those two words. We did not do that one.
You're sure?
I'm 100% sure.
This is very fortunate because I know a song that shouldn't be included in choir, and it was we had to sing it for district chorus this year, and it was sort of postmodern abstract, and it was just the only word was Alleluia, and it was a complete garbage song. Man who wrote Alleluia don't like you, because it would just went Hallelujah, and it was like that for the entire thing. But it was every single different voice part doing it. When we sang it at district, it just sounded like a bunch of people screaming on stage. So that song,
so you're not really
out.
Just really not doing a joke, huh?
No, it was bad.
We're just gonna have a real commentary.
A real commentary. It was bad. In terms of jokes, I would say Smash Mouth. I think All Star shouldn't be included in chorus, and that's not even a joke because it happened.
Hold on. Did you just say it shouldn't be included in choir? Was that like the joke?
It was included, and then we cut it. We cut it for a reason.
No, we cut it because Tim didn't like it. Quite frankly, I was thoroughly enjoying singing All-Star, and I'm not doing a joke right now because this is a serious segment. I really enjoyed doing All-Star, the song, the All-Star, but it's a Bach chorale following the conventions of the common practice period. That is a very, very enjoyable song to sing. The bass part goes very, very low. It's very hard to sing. I enjoy it, though. It's very fun. All-Star, honestly, just a fun song. Everybody enjoys it. We should not have taken it out of our set list. That's my personal opinion. And quite frankly, I was very, very sad when we did not sing it because I really, really enjoyed it and everyone had a good time when we were singing it.
I have only one opposing point, and it is that it sounded bad.
Okay, yeah, but Bradley, who needs good sound when you've got
a bunch of teens having fun?
All-Star abound. That's you, and you can quote me on that.
Okay,
that's an old Chinese proverb that I made up.
I've seen a lot of Chinese people today. More Chinese people on average than I've seen for most of my life.
Again,
today.
Really just not making any jokes.
No. Well,
this is a really very sincere bit that we're doing, like a sincere section.
They're just everyone likes to be a tourist. I've seen less Americans than I would have on average. But anyway,
that tends to happen when you leave America, unless you go to Rome.
Really?
When you go to Rome, I feel like you see more Americans than you see on average in America.
Yeah, I would agree. The Pope? What's up with that?
I don't. What's up with that? Let's do some funny observational comedy about Rome.
About the Pope.
The pizzas are so good.
Songs that God, what song? Like what? Like.
I think like a song of summoning for some sort of demon maybe should not be included in choir. Because I think it like if you do that, what you have is a whole bunch of kids, and it's just like Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like they get involved with it, all of a sudden they're like doing these satanic rituals, and they like think it's just fun and games, but then they summon like Balroth the Impaler or whatever, who sort of
but you get a demon once you're done. Like there's not like a downside to this.
That's a good point. You do get a demon, so maybe that way you have it.
I want like a friend who's just like a demon, like a dude who's like he's like fucking jacked, red skin. He just hangs out. That's Balroth. That's my bud. I can go to the fair with him. Balroth the Impaler. I can chill. Like, hey Balroth, want to go grab some like fucking smash burger? And he's like, Yes.
You should have said kebabs because he likes to impale.
Oh, that's
things.
a good point. I should be more sensitive.
Does he? Maybe he doesn't like to eat kebabs though, because maybe he works at like a kebab shop in hell, and that's why his name is Balroth the Impaler.
Oh,
and so he doesn't like to eat kebabs because he's tired of being around them all the time.
Yeah, Balroth is just done.
He's actually a very nice man. He works in the service industry. Everybody loves him. All his customers love to see him. They come in, they tip him really well, and he just gives them a nice smile.
Dude.
And he has a very well-groomed beard that he always covers with a hair protector type thing, so it never gets germs on the food.
Do like workplace demons like on their name tags? Is it like Balroth and then like below that in smaller lettering like the Impaler?
I think.
Just so you can tell them apart.
Is that like their job? I kind of like that because it kind of denotes like what they do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Thorin Oakenshield from The Hobbit or whatever, where like he got that name from something he used or did.
Hey, I have this Oakenshield.
Or like Charlie Silversmith would have been named Silversmith because he worked with silver.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
Or maybe he worked with iron and his dad wanted him to seem cooler than he actually was.
I'm really digging Balroth the Impaler. Not really, like, just for the aesthetic of having, like, just, like, a permanent demon friend that you can just go out and get food with. And he's chill.
I mean, I can, like, paint my skin red and, like, hang out with you and, like, work at a shish kebab shop if that would make you happy.
It's different.
It's different?
It's a little different. Slightly.
What if I had, like big foam cosplay wings?
That's a start, definitely. Can you, like, become...
And, like, a devil horns headband.
Can you become, like, 8 fucking feet tall and, like, jacked?
That is actually my projected growth chart for when I went to the doctor for my physical the other day. They're like, yeah, you got another 2 feet to go. And just, like, a whole bunch of muscles that'll just kind of show up when you're 20. It's an Irish thing. Like, your body's like, here's a whole bunch of muscles that your body forgot to give you.
Okay.
So, yeah, you've actually chosen well.
Wow, I love it. Okay, will be fun. That'll be a good time.
Do you want to do another prompt?
Yeah, sure. Balroth the Impaler. Well, we done. Oh, I guess sort of a song of summoning is both something we should do and something we shouldn't do. So it works both. So this is from a new man, which is called Leon Keith Chameleon, and the prompt is: does a chicken need rain protection gear?
Oh, okay. So let me give you some backstory on this one because this is actually kind of fun. Leon Keith Chameleon is actually another podcaster, and he has a podcast called A Good Day, and it has way more listeners than we do. Wow. And he is in our Facebook group. He has a podcast called A Good Day, and he's a farmer in rural America.
Which egg would you like?
I posted a thing asking people for prompts, and it was like, here's some prompt examples. You could ask like a question or submit an idea. You might ask a question like, do I need a chicken? Which is a prompt we've done before. And what's the next type of rain protection gear? Which is a prompt from Jason Lee that we did. And I said it could be one of those two things or both. And I was referring to it could be an idea or a question or some kind of mixture of both. And Leon went right ahead and commented the only prompt he's ever submitted, which was, does a chicken need rain protection gear? Anyway, does a chicken need rain protection gear?
I'm not sure rain protection gear because the chicken's kind of out there a while, but let me tell you a story, which is when we were flying over here, we were talking to my uncle because we stayed at his house in Seven Oaks in England, and he's like, hey, you need to like feed the chickens. Like when you get there, like you just feed the chickens. Like we have an automatic feeder, but you need to refill it because it's only going to be so much food for all like these chickens we have. And they had like 6 chickens. And then we got there. And he goes, oh, by the way, 5 of the chickens died. Killed by a fox. A fox snuck into the coop, killed the chickens, left one chicken, which now undoubtedly has PTSD.
So they left like a martyr to go back and tell the rest of its kind, like, don't come here. Like, look what we did to you.
I think honestly that chicken's only alive because the foxes were full. Like 6 fucking chickens. Have you seen a fox? It's not even that big.
No, a fox is quite clever. What he did was he left a courier for his dark, evil message.
Okay, that's fair.
Do not return here, chickens. This is our territory. And the fox talks like that.
A chicken does not need rain protection gear, but a chicken really
maybe
needs
like
armor.
Fox protection gear.
A chicken needs like fucking like scale mail.
I really like the image of a chicken walking around in full plate mail and just like, and it's like not walking around with any sort of like actual intent or anything. Like it's still just very much so a regular chicken. It's not like a heroic chicken or anything. It's just walking around in full plate mail.
Heroic chicken.
And it is very, very slow.
I like
maybe it falls over on its face a whole bunch.
I kind of like the image of the chicken like going down to like peck the dirt and its visor closes. And then it like, it like will like come back up and the visor will open again. It'll go back down and the visor will close. So chicken full plate mail armor is good. Do we want like body armored? Is there like thorns on it to keep the fox away? Maybe like an anti-fox spray. Maybe chickens just smell bad. I mean, that's already true, but it doesn't stop them.
Well, yeah. So what we need, okay, consider, can we make some sort of plate mail armor, like a scratch and sniff plate mail armor? Right, so the fox comes up to attack the chicken, it scratches up the armor while trying to get at the chicken, and before the fox can dismantle the armor to get to the chicken inside, he's scratch and sniffed the scratch and sniff armor that emits some sort of smell that is appalling to foxes.
Okay, I like it. We have definitely solved any problem anyone has ever had with a chicken.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, this would definitely qualify as a good actionable solution to a real life problem. Can you pick another prompt?
I would also suggest to anyone keeping chickens, just don't like seriously.
Just
like,
you don't need a chicken, Shiloh. You definitely do need a chicken, but like anybody else, I know we discussed this and like we landed on me being convinced that like people do need chickens, but like that was a bit, and the time has come due for me to come clean.
People in the city, if you have houses in the city, you don't need you don't just get rid of the chickens. Like go buy some eggs. Like the amount of money you spend on a coop, just buy some eggs. It like maybe like an egg a day. Like that should tide you over.
That's fair. I mean, if you're gonna spend that much money on a coop, you might as well just spring for the sedan.
Okay. That's fair.
I know it is.
Chicken car. I'm not going to chant. I don't know that
Can
word.
we actually do a different one?
Sure, let's do a different prompt. I'm in a very sort of average hotel room, which is actually a little freaky because the walls are slanted inwards because it's like one of the top floors. So It kind of looks like I'm on the inside of a big cone.
That sounds like some freaky, like, psychological design, like, to make you feel uncomfortable or uneasy type.
Well, that's kind of the prompt, which is, what is the most distressing room?
The most distressing room?
Yes.
Okay, consider.
Yes.
You're hanging from a rope, first of all.
Okay, I am, yes.
The rope looks frayed as though it is just going to break at any moment. Here's the thing. The rope is not frayed as though it will break at any moment. And the part where it's frayed, you only see before you go up there. The rope is frayed, but it will not break at any moment. It's very, very strong rope. Okay. There's sound playing from hidden areas in the room that sound like rope snapping. Just little bits of rope snapping.
Fucking hate this room. Continue.
And you're not hanging by your neck or anything. You're not being hanged.
The room is hanging.
Oh, the room is hanging. Yeah. I like this even better. This is even better.
Aiden likes this even better, so I'm told.
So anyway, as you enter the room, then fine. Maybe you're like walking up the Eiffel Tower and this room is just like hanging from the top.
Yes.
And it's like, come on in. Or maybe like an evil villain is trapping you there. You walk in, it looks like it's going to fall. And there's these sounds playing so it feels like the room is maybe going to drop. And maybe actually every once in a while, it just drops a few inches.
Yeah.
But it's like actually a mechanism dropping the room. So you think, maybe there's a couple cables. So that actually seems realistic, right?
Yeah.
The sounds are playing to make it seem like it's like that. And the room on the inside is designed in such a way that it feels like it's closed, like it's real, like a little bit off. You know, like maybe things are a little bit bigger than they should be.
See, this is like genuinely distressing. I was going to think of like that like entirely mirrored room that they have at Graceland, or like the one with all the TVs, or the one that's like a jungle but like small and shitty. But this, like, I would actually like not want to spend any time in it at all. Maybe just like a really dirty room.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of nasty. Like dirt? If I see dirt in a room, I'm like, get me out of there.
Like, fuck the outdoors. What is this shit? Dirt? No, but like...
That's the whole reason we made the indoors, so we wouldn't have to be out of doors.
Out of the doors. Okay, so no doors, maybe. Maybe like a trap door, like a ladder. So it's really dirty, it's hung on rope, and there's no doors.
So how did you get in?
Like, you're like dropped in from the ceiling, like Mission Impossible style.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. I think that's pretty good, frankly. You can like get dropped in. It's like really dirty on the inside. There's fraying rope and like
Fun audio tricks.
maybe there's like a big gun just sort of in the middle of it, like an AK that sort of swivels.
And it's loaded, and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but it just like looks fucking awful.
And it's just there, and it's very distressing.
It is.
I also think, okay, hear me out. Can the room scan your brain to like figure out your biggest insecurities, and then just using the same hidden audio system whisper them to you? And since you can't see the audio system, like it just whispers them to you in the form, maybe using your voice as well. Just so it just sort of sounds like you're thinking those things.
Your wife doesn't love you. Your pee-pee is small.
Well, that's
Yeah,
okay. Well, Bradley, this isn't very nice of you to say to me.
I'm the room. I'm role-playing.
Okay, I told you that. Okay, but Bradley, I understand that you're role playing, but I told you this stuff in confidence.
I'm sorry your wife doesn't love you. That's not my fault.
Oh my god. And like that's what the room would be like.
Yeah.
Maybe it takes like one of your best friend's voices.
Okay.
And it uses that. It scans your brain for that voice, and it uses that to like whisper horrible things to you. So not only does it sound like it's just your insecurities, it's someone you really trust and care about voicing your insecurities back to you as truths.
So do we need this room? Like we can just use real life.
Just like real life?
Yeah. Just use real life. I don't think I have friends like that, but
I'm sorry you don't have any friends like that. I mean, I can start, like, I know I was going to be a demon for you, but, like, I could start.
do me.
Oh, do
me.
you?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's hear what I'm insecure about.
Your hair is too poofy. Your jacket looks like it would be worn by a lesbian in an 80s movie.
Thank you, Aiden. 2 things I am insecure about. I cut my hair. It's really short now.
You're never gonna go to Harvard.
I probably won't go to Harvard.
You're never gonna go to Harvard.
Okay.
Your pee-pee is way too big.
Fuck. Damn.
Your eyeballs
My eyeballs.
too round.
Can we stop this? It's freaking me out, actually, a little bit. I'm not insecure.
No one likes your writing. It's too funny.
Okay. Damn. This.
Your writing's too good. It's too intellectual for the common man. Everyone thinks you're a prick.
Okay, I can relate to that, actually. That hits here.
I finally found one.
Well, the rest of them were just funny, but that one's like, actually, I don't think people think I'm a prick, but you know, I'm afraid nobody understands my writing. That's an actual honest
Bradley,
truth. Yeah.
no one thinks you're a prick. No one understands your writing. Both of those things are true.
I'll take that.
That's also not true. I really understand and enjoy your writing.
Guys, I don't. Bradley can't hear me right now. I muted myself on Skype. But I don't. But I want him to feel like I'm smart and like on his level.
Aiden?
So,
What?
Where'd you go? I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I was just taking a piss.
Okay. You can keep it on next time.
I can just keep it on next time?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, got it. Water sports. Next
Bradley
prompt.
Berklich, well-known piss fetishist. This is my confession. I'm coming
Bradley
out.
made the subreddit.
Is there a subreddit
I don't know. You made it.
for piss fetish?
Bradley, I think there's a subreddit for every fetish the same way that there is a porn version of everything.
Yeah, I can see that.
The subreddit for everything is where you find the porn version for everything. That's, I think, how Reddit works.
I still think my Rule 35, was it Rule 34, Rule 30? I think it was my Rule 40, nothing exists if there's no porn of it. So somewhere in like Utah, there's like an enormous fucking data bank with porn of every object on it. Well, in Utah, they have this enormous like fucking like bank of all the data. Like everything you do is in Utah on the internet. Like they've got it recorded. They've like, it's like this huge air conditioned building in the middle of the desert. This is true, by the way.
I mean, in that way, at least if I'm in the middle of the desert, I know where to go.
That's fair. That's good. Just aim towards the big old building, the one building in the desert.
The big old building.
All right, so
Heading to the big old building in the desert.
so we've found the most distressing room then, easily.
Yeah, it's that big old building in the desert full of all of the data of everything you do. That's the most distressing room.
I think so. Yes. I'm gonna find a prompt. Let's go all the way back. Let's go back to one of the first. In Europe, I noticed the infrastructure and public transportation is much better,
No kidding.
but it's very dirty.
No kidding.
The metro trains in America, in where we live, Illinois, they are not quite as dirty.
Okay.
So I want to propose whatever we have in Chicago, we give it to Europe to make their trains more clean. Now, also, notice, I've been here for 2 days. I have not yet seen a vacuum cleaner. So I don't, and I could be totally wrong, but I don't think Europe has vacuums.
Yeah, well, I mean, once you have been somewhere for like 48 hours, it's pretty safe to assume that if you haven't seen a thing, that it's just not there.
That's what I was like. That's why I had to see the Eiffel Tower on the second day, because otherwise it would just gone.
I mean, it's like if you go in, if you look at space, you can't, like, if you don't see a vacuum, if you don't experience a vacuum while you're in space, I mean, like, there's no vacuum there. Like, I look up at the sky all the time. I've definitely spent at least 48 hours over my lifetime looking up at the sky, and, like...
That's fair.
I don't see any vacuum.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is...
Science is all about empirical evidence, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you think about it, if you see it, then you know it's real. And if you don't see it, then it's not there. I can't observe a vacuum in space, so it's just not there.
If there's no evidence of an empire...
Yeah, I can't see you right now, so you don't actually exist.
You can hear me.
That's fair. Okay, well, that's fair. I can't hear a vacuum in space, though, either.
Oh, maybe I heard a vacuum. Oh, fuck. They have vacuums. God damn it. I don't know. Maybe they just need less trash. Britain, get less trash.
Less trash. Less trash for Europe. Can I tell you about an idea that Jared and I were working on yesterday?
Yeah, sure.
I know this isn't traditionally what we do, but I think we're kind of low on prompts right now, and I think that, as Jared pointed out to me last night, the thing we were talking about was ripe for a good idea.
Yeah, shoot me up with heroin. Yeah, come on.
I'll shoot you up with that Jarowin,
Okay,
which is Jared Heroin. Now, I can't do it full justice without Jared here, and I think the two of us are maybe going to write out like a pitch doc for this game at some point, at which point I'll put that up on the Twitter or the Tumblr or both or something. But the general premise is every car becomes outfitted with a projector that projects onto the windshield, fully opaque, of course. You cannot see through this projection. And it's not there all the time, but it projects it like pretty much any time you go onto a different road. And what it shows you is the leaderboard for that road, which is comprised of the people. It's just a ranking. Every single car is on the list and registered to the person who's in the car at the time. And you get higher on the list by clocking a higher average speed on that road than other people. So stop signs, of course, bring your average speed for the time you spent on that road down. So if you blow a stop sign, you can get more points. And the goal of the game is to go as fast as you possibly can and to clear that road in the same amount of time. And if you only go down a section of one road, so like maybe you turn onto McKinley, but you turn onto McKinley halfway through the road of McKinley.
Yeah.
When you turn off of McKinley, it takes that area and it averages it out with that speed that you were on. So like maybe you just turn at the end of one block onto McKinley, you go super fast down McKinley and then turn right off of McKinley because McKinley's a more populated or copulated road. That's not an appropriate use of the word copulated.
Nope.
People just fucking in the street everywhere. No. And you get like high points for that because you spent very little time on the road and you were very fast while you were there. And so the game is all about finding different ways to go faster and on a road and to clock points. And so another way to get extra points also is to hit people. So, you know, when you're in the car and you like see a mom and her like pushing her stroller with her kids in it or whatever, or maybe like a man and his dog or something, and you're like, how many points? And then the person in the passenger seat is like 25. Like you assign a value to those people.
Yes.
Well, the car senses using cameras or something right before you hit them what the target is, and it determines the point value. And I don't know if it has to just be people. It can be like fire hydrants or whatever. You get points for hitting things with your car.
So
The game is all about that. And you try to go up the leaderboard because every road has a different leaderboard. You're not competing against the whole rest of the world. It's like a fun community event. Now, cops, of course, would be very aware of this game. And the game causes people to do a bunch of illegal things. But every single car is outfitted with this, including cop cars. It's just manufacturer standard.
Yes.
So cops start riding horses again. And so they can keep up with other people, they ride like 150 horses at a time, so they have like enough horsepower, like 150 horsepower.
Wait, why are the cops right?
So they don't have to play the game. So they can run the law and operate outside of the rules of the game, because this game has become an all-consuming hit. Because of course, because if this game actually existed, it would become an extremely, extremely competitive, like,
It would be.
game
You're right.
sphere
This
that
is like,
everyone would be involved in, because everyone with a car would have to play, no choice allowed.
Yes.
And since not the decals, but like the thing that it sprays up on your screen is opaque, like, you have no choice but to see this shit.
yes.
And it does make the roads very hazardous, but like everyone's okay with that because it's an addicting game.
Why don't the cops just drive motorcycles?
Huh? Oh, because motorcycles, you play it too. Are you kidding? It's going to project on your helmet.
You could just take that off.
Huh? Yeah, but at that point, then the cops are being unsafe, and that's setting a bad example for the kids in the town that ride motorcycles around everywhere.
Okay.
Like those 3-year-olds on motorcycles, they're going to copy what they see.
Wait. So like, what if your motorcycle doesn't have a visor?
That's just a shitty motorcycle, and at that point, you have bugs in your eyes.
Okay, that's a good point. So instead, they should ride 150 horses.
Well, you need that 150 horsepower. And my favorite part of that, I know that's not how that works, but as I was going to say, my favorite part of that was when Jared suggested that to me, and I looked at him and I said, I really like the implication that tying a bunch of horses together makes each of them go faster.
Yeah.
I proposed that everyone on the police force gets on this long, like, snake horse train, because each horse would have to be controlled individually, right?
Yes.
So I kind of like the idea of them, like, just trying to cut off cars, and then, like, maybe protecting the horse as, like, a state animal or like a country animal. So if you hit one, you get, like, to jail for life. So then they, like, essentially play Tron.
This is fucking awful. I hate this game already.
You hate this game? Okay, well, we could do a different thing. I just wanted to share my idea. I don't remember what it was called. I think it was called Racetrack, taking it, and then the number 2, and then the streets. And then there was a whole thing about, like, losing points, but the points that you lost were in no way related to the points that were actually part of the game. And it would just be like, uh-oh, you lost 1 point. And it was completely arbitrary. Like, it would just say that to you for doing different actions.
Uh-oh.
And when it wouldn't even say 1 point, it would just say, uh-oh, you lost 1. And then it would change it, like, it wouldn't actually affect your score or anything, and it wouldn't say anything else. But if you look at the title screen, which is always projected across the top of your windshield, Racetrack taking it to the streets, it becomes Racetrack taking it 1 the streets. Every time you lose, and you can gain that back, and the way you gain that back is actually very specific. So even though those point losses are arbitrary, if you can make your car jump by either ramp or some sort of jump button that you've outfitted your car with, you can make your car jump, crash into a stop sign, but specifically the red part, it becomes like a target. Then you get a point for that.
This is already way too complex for me. Like, I'm so, like, I got lost at, like, cars.
Okay, well, to be fair, a lot of people do, which is why I think we should raise the driving age to 21. So that way, when people can start drinking, they can also start driving.
It's good.
Which I think is just a really good. Well, yeah, because everybody needs a DD, a drunk driver.
I can drink and drive right now in France. I can do that right hella now. Like, I don't need to take a test. I don't need to.
Bradley, get off the phone.
Well,
get off the phone. Go drink and drive.
Okay.
So we're ending this episode a little early, folks, because I want Bradley to go drink and drive at the same time, because I love and care about him, and I want him to... Shit!
Thankfully, European healthcare is very good.
Thankfully.
It's all fixed.
Thank God. Did you see this Koch brothers thing?
No? What happened with the Koch brothers?
Okay, so this is something... They overdosed. That was a Coke joke. Anyway, the Koch brothers, like right-wing lobbyists that pay a lot of money to get their agenda happening, funded a study this week.
You say right-wing, but they also gave significant money to Hillary Clinton.
Did they really? It's almost like Hillary Clinton wasn't actually a Democrat, the Koch brothers. I'm not saying they're horrible people or anything. I don't know enough about them to say that. That's fine. Okay, I trust you on that.
Yes.
I don't know enough about the Koch brothers to say that. I just know that they've given a lot of money for bad things.
Yes, what did they do?
They tried to fund a study this week. Or not maybe this week. I think the news came out like within the last 7 days, though. They tried to fund a study regarding Medicare for all to just show how bad of an idea it was. And in that study, they accidentally proved that Medicare for all is cheaper than what we're doing right now.
I saw a fire in Paris on top of the Eiffel Tower. I don't think that's really historical, but it was interesting.
It's fun.
It's good to know someone's house is burning down.
It makes my heart like
warm.
Jump with joy.
Makes my heart warm.
It really makes my heart warm, like a fire burning a house down. I know sometimes, like, I don't always see it, but sometimes I always know when a house is burning down, because what I get is, like, I'll be walking around and all of a sudden I'll feel like a little spring in my step, and it's like, and I'm like, yeah, somewhere, someone's house is just burning into ashes, just absolutely being decimated by the good flames. You want to end the episode?
Yeah, sure. I've been having a great time in Greece, by the way. It's been fantastic.
Are you in Greece right now?
No, there have been horrible fires in Greece. And they have eucalyptus trees there, which explode.
Okay, well, that's pretty cool. I didn't know we just, like, had explosive trees. Like, I know in like, Bloons Tower Defense, there's exploding pineapples, but, like...
They were in California, they're in Australia, and they were in Greece. And when they get fire, some of them will just combust and, like, explode. And then they are just, in general, really flammable. So they're just getting, like, totally rawed by their plant vegetation. If we have any Greek listeners out there, sorry, please don't burn. I'm very sorry for you. But I will end the episode now. So I like what you started out last time, which is we do all the tagline stuff here first now, so you have to wait and hear it till the end. So I'm going to continue with that. This has been Good Idea Podcast. We are thrilled to have you listening. Thank you very extremely much. If you enjoyed this show, this was sort of a low energy. It was a chill show. It was a chill show because we're both very tired. It's like, well, actually, it's like 4 o'clock for you now.
It's 4 o'clock for me, but I did wake up from a nap about 10 minutes before this recording, and I did wake up from your text tone.
It's 11 o'clock for me. We're both kind of tired, but it's chill. We're glad you came and chilled with us. We're happy about that. But if you want to hear more chilling, more fun, more goofy bits...
More bone-chilling, spooktacular audio.
We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Overcast, Libsyn, and now Spotify, which is very interesting because we are actually getting significant listens on Spotify.
Okay, well, significant isn't the word that I would use, but...
They are significant.
Some listens.
If people listen, they are significant.
Hey, that's a good point. If you listen, you matter. And if you don't listen, then fuck you. And I can say that because you won't hear me.
What if they stop listening?
Well, that's fine. They did listen. If you have listened, you matter.
Okay, I'll take that. And then if you want to contact us in any way, prompts, questions, suggestions, just talk. That's cool too.
Like horrible insults, digs against my or Bradley's character.
Maybe not those ones. But we have our Facebook group, which is Good Idea Podcast, our Twitter, our Tumblr, and our Instagram, which are all at Good Idea Cast, and our Gmail, which is Good Idea Podcast. But now, enough with the housekeeping. Time for me to tell you to share the show. But enough with that.
Did you just say time for you to tell the show?
I don't know. I'm very tired.
If you enjoyed the show, please like it, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section below. No, I'm sorry. Share it with a friend, because share it with a friend, or give us a review or a rating or all of those things or something like that. Anywho, my favorite idea of the show, I gotta say, it was Balroth.
It was. I do love the demon.
We've been starting out strong lately. Like, I feel like our favorite ideas tend to be towards the start of the episode, just like from this weird, I'm sure it's a coincidence. I mean, it's always from a random part of the episode, and we've had a couple weeks just in a row where it's been at the start. Actually, I don't know if the last episode wasn't like that, but cool camp.
Regardless, I am very pro Balroth.
Balroth, if you're listening, please manifest. We're big fans.
Really big fans.
Bradley, what was your Balroth?
I'm gonna go with Balroth. Honest to God, he's stuck in my heart and my mind.
He skewered my heart and my mind. There's a big stake just sort of going right from like balls to head.
Help me.
It does not feel good. Like from taint to tip.
I don't like that one.
Woo!
All right, and what's your pick of the week, Aiden?
My pick of the week. Oh boy, I mentioned at the start of the episode, by the way, I wasn't actually listening to music, but I thought it would be like a sort of fun intro bit because you and I both have pods. Joe Iconis' Rock and Roll Jamboree. I know I recommended a Joe Iconis album last week, but I found another one. And it is absolutely the best Joe Iconis album on iTunes. I have thoroughly enjoyed it and listened to pretty much nothing else since I found it. It is actually stellar. And there are some of the same songs were on the other album, but like they're different versions of them. And just really every single song on this album is, I think, his best version of that song that I can find. He's very good. Bradley, your pick of the week?
All right. My pick of the week is also going to be music. I got to decide because I've been listening. I mentioned the Kinks earlier on. I was listening to them for a while earlier. They're still very good. They're a British band. I was in Britain. I'm like, oh, I like the Kinks. I should listen to them to be here and do that with them. So it was fun. It was good.
Do the Kinks, are they on every subreddit? Is there a subreddit for every kink?
I'm absolutely sure there is a subreddit for each individual member of the Kinks. So there is a subreddit for every Kink.
Do you think their names are like Bondage and like Piss Boy and like they were named these things as kids and that's why they started this band because they were all like societal outcasts because their names were Bondage and Piss Boy?
That's fun, but no. I sincerely doubt that. But it's, it'd be good anyway. But I am going to actually recommend West Coast Art Pop Experimental Band, I think. West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band. Yeah, that one is very good. It was in a Wes Anderson movie recently, which I watched on the plane. It was very catchy, so I like it. And then also Chance the Rapper released 4 new singles, which are, well, I won't say all of them are very good. 2 of them are very good. I recommend, personally, I recommend I Might Need Security and Work Out. I enjoy both of them very much. And they're good. All right, so that's that.
Well, shit.
That was a good idea. That was fucking horrible. I hate that. Every aspect of that, I hate it. I don't...
Try again. Do a different one.
We're done here.